Hey guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. I'm Lisa, and today is Cooking Vintage Episode 2, Tea Cakes. If you're cooking with me, I posted what you needed on Instagram and TikTok the other day. So if you've got it all, we're ready to go. You can go ahead and preheat your oven to 325. Okay guys, 1 cup of sugar, a half a cup of Crisco, and 2 eggs. So let's get that going. We're going to put it in our mixing bowl and get this cream together. There's half a cup, so it's this line right here. So I'm going to get out my scissors, get out a knife, and I'm going to cut that. I don't want to use the recipe. Okay, there is my half a cup right in the middle. So I'm going to put this in 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to get 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar in with our half a cup of Crisco. And we're going to start this creaming together. Turned it off for a second. I'm going to scrape my paddle down. And I'm going to add in my 2 eggs. I add in my 2 eggs. One. And 2. Okay. Just back down and cream those together with the Crisco and the cup of sugar. Okay, I'm gonna let this. Okay, now that's our sugar and eggs. Now it calls for 2 cups of flour, but you only put 1 cup in here, and this is where she's genius. She takes the other cup and just puts it on the countertop for when you roll it out. That way you're not incorporating more flour than the recipe actually calls for, which is, like I said, genius. So what we do now is we take 1 cup of flour, our 3 tablespoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. Sift that all into a bowl, and then we dump that, incorporate this in slowly as we mix. Let's start with our baking powder. So here's my tablespoon, and there's what it looks like. So you just dip it in, and then you scrape it across that lid. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So you do 3, and that's it. That's all of the baking powder. Okay, so I'm going to put this out of the way. Next is half a teaspoon of salt that we're just going to put in there. I have a teaspoon, so I'll just do half of that. And I'm just going to use salt shaker, which has my little Morton salt in it. And there's my half a teaspoon. Okay. And then it's 1 cup of flour. There's our 1 cup of flour. We're putting in our sifter, and we're just going to sift. And we're just doing it by hitting it. And this is what our sifted flour baking powder looks like. And we're just going to add in a half of this at a time. So I'm going to put this back down and lock it. I'm going to turn it on low to start so I don't like fluff this up in the air. I'm just going to, I put about half of it in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the other half. Been incorporated. Now we're gonna add in our milk and our vanilla flavoring and mix that all in really well, and then it'll be time to start rolling it out. 3 tablespoons of this. So I still have my tablespoon right here. And then a vanilla is 2 teaspoons. So we'll do the vanilla first. I don't know if there's a, there we go. 1, 2, okay. And then we'll do the sweet milk. I open the sweet milk because it's thick milk. It's not like liquid white milk. So you just pour that in like that. And it's 3 of these. We'll go 1. And we're just gonna mix all this in real quick. I wish I could smell this. The vanilla smells absolutely wonderful. Okay, we don't want to overmix. It's incorporated. I don't have a rolling board, so I'm going to use parchment paper on my countertop. I'm going to put the other cup of flour spread out on this. There's our flour. I'm going to spread it out. And then we're going to dump our batter. This is the fluffiest batter ever. I mean, it's like just light. So we're gonna scrape it out on our board here and mix it in with the last bit of the flour required. There we go. Make sure you coat your rolling pin with flour too. And then you just roll it out. Okay. And once you get rolled out, she says use a biscuit cutter. If you don't have a biscuit cutter, use a round cutter. If you don't have a round cookie cutter, use a glass. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with my round. This is a donut cutter. And I'm just going all the way around and cutting out my cookies. And my oven's heated at 325, going around. And this is going to make quite a bit of cookies. My cookie sheet right here. There's one. And you might want to use a knife or a fork to help you get them off it's a very soft dough. It's not a stiff dough. Okay guys, we're about to get them out. I'm sorry you cut off, but I was just putting them in here anyway. Oh, they came out good. They kind of expanded, so you might want to use a little smaller cutter than I did. I wish you could smell them though. They smell delicious. So there we go. We have Mama Dessa's, my grandmother's old-fashioned tea cake. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this second episode of Cooking Vintage Tea Cake Edition. If you did, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. Also, be sure and hit that subscribe button and that little bell. I will have another episode of Cooking Vintage next week, and we're going to the vintage cookbooks now. I will see you then. Bye.